I guess he wants to give you a prettier drink.
Well, that's a good idea. We're here at Bethany Blues in Bethany Beach, Delaware. We're with our friend Zach. How you doing?
Good. Good to have you guys here.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we're doing this. We don't even have we don't even have a name for exactly what this little exchange is going to be. But the plan is that we're going to do this with a bunch of people and do it all over the place, and just basically get a feel for what's happening in your world and what we're looking forward to in the future. Here, bring that around. Yeah, bring it here. Set it down right in the middle of us. And then come around here so you can tell me what this is.
This is a New York Sour on our winter menu here at Bethany Blues.
Okay.
And that is rye whiskey, lemon juice, a little bit of simple syrup with Pinot Noir floated on top. It's a very good wintertime drink.
Awesome.
Day one rolling it out right now. It is delicious. I don't know if we've even sold any yet, so you're the guinea pig as well as we are in this.
So it's really good for right now.
Yeah,
But
they are great.
enjoy.
Thank you. That's one of the best things about our job, is coming and talking to people like you and experiencing things like this.
Well, it's, as much as an experience for you guys, it is for us too, because it's constant experimentation. It's one of the things that is, it's the perk of our job as well, is that every day is a little bit different. You're always trying to improve. You're always trying to find the next thing. So, whether it's a New York Sour or, the next great, rib rub for us, we're always playing around and trying to find out what we can do that's going to, take us to the next level.
Right.
And that's the constant goal for, I'm sure, as it is for you and your business and ours and in our business as well, is how can you constantly improve? And I would say right now that is an improvement to our drink menu, because it is delicious. It's a great way to drink whiskey.
Do you find that more people are going like craft cocktails? You guys did the craft beer with Dewey Beer Co.
I think so. I do. I look at a lot of the new restaurants that are popping up. And it's kind of gone away from in this area. I always remember it growing up as you think of almost like the tourist trap style restaurants, and they are great for what they are. But I think most places now, this day and age, they're going like really heavy on kind of the craft, local. People want to know what they're eating, where what they're eating is raised. They want to know the ins and outs of what it is that they're going to consume, and I think most places, most restaurants are now really honing in on that.
And it's not just like we're here in a resort area,
right?
But it's not. People are back home, wherever home may be, and they are eating at nice restaurants. Want to know where things are coming from and that sort of thing. And,
I feel like
and they're bringing it here,
right? And everything that's going on, you would say in the city or wherever it may be, where you think the natural progression of it seems to be that like it works out here and it works its way here to us. I feel like in my experience, a lot of places are starting to go more towards the fine dining, which is great, because it's a more serious experience as far as a restaurant experience goes, or a dining experience. But I was reading an article the other day about refined barbecue. Like that's, those two things don't typically go hand in hand.
Right.
But there's a couple different places. This one in particular out in Toronto, where they offer this refined barbecue experience, and it's their whole goal is to take barbecue and elevate it to a white tablecloth kind of setting. Mm-hmm. Not that that's even what they are, but they want the experience, the dining experience that people are having in their establishment to be that way. And I think that's where a lot of places are going. Is just like, you can't get away with just throwing some frozen mozzarella sticks on a plate anymore. You got to handcraft it. Is kind of like the way to go now.
That's all right. We can take peanut gallery comments too. This is really good, by the way.
You like it?
I do.
Yeah. No, the Pinot Noir floater gives it like some sort of sweetness to it a little bit.
Right.
It's really good.
Yeah, because it's not as bitey or whatever.
That's a lot of females seem to be a little bit more hesitant on drinking whiskey, and one thing that I kind of thought about in our menu is like, how can we get more females to be at least approachable when it comes to drinking whiskey? And I feel like that is a cocktail that some females would absolutely enjoy.
Yeah.
And not all. I was just talking with somebody downstairs who knew more about Pappy Van Winkle than I do, and she was like spitting jelly beans to me about all the whiskeys that she's tasted, and
right.
But in general, like, that doesn't seem to be the case, and I think making some more approachable drinks. Whiskey is very versatile.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't think of it that way. They think of it on the rocks, or their old granddad, like, dusty bottle on the shelf.
Guy sitting at the end of the
bar. Right. But it's not that at all. Like, as much as tequila's kind of coming around now and becoming that style of sipping spirit.
Right.
Like, whiskey's always been there. Like, it's people take we were talking craft. People take very, very, very precise care of this spirit that they're aging. Like, you can have the same exact liquid in a barrel, and the fact that it's aged 5 years versus 10, it's completely different. Like, it's
right. And then
learning some of that stuff's pretty cool.
Real quick for the uninitiated, which is me, whiskey, Scotch, bourbon. The major difference is grain versus corn.
Right.
And age.
Some of the age, yes. Most of them are like in general, whiskey is all of those. Like, Scotch is whiskey, bourbon is whiskey. There's Irish whiskey, Canadian whiskey. Whiskey's the umbrella,
right?
And everything kind of falls.
Whiskey.
Yes, exactly. Everything falls underneath of that. What makes them all different is a lot of it is where they're located. The different, like the mash bill, like for bourbon, for example, it has to be 51% corn.
Okay.
As far as Scotch and all those go, it's all a little bit different. Bourbon has to be barreled at least 80% or 80 proof or higher. A lot of that stuff, as far as what makes it a Scotch or not, is different. But really, the only big difference between it is a lot of it is where they're made.
Right.
But they're all whiskeys. They're all.
Is it a regional thing, or is it like wine with the climatology of the grain, or is it just location?
It's mostly. I mean, it's location. So Scotch has to be made in Scotland.
Anybody who's watching this who knows anything about whiskey,
I'm just pulling it. I'm pulling it out of my ass
yelling
right now.
at me right now. It's like, how can you not know that?
You know a lot more than you.
I know some stuff.
Well, you're trying to pull it out of me, and I'm making it a lot of it. I'm not making it up, but as much as I do know, there's a lot more that I could know, because it's amazing, like all the little different variances. But as far as my understanding is, all of those are whiskeys. Irish whiskey literally needs to be made in Ireland. Scotch has to be made in Scotland. If you look at a Japanese versus Scotch, a lot of those pair up side by side and are very similar, but it's literally one's made in Japan, one's made in Scotland. I mean, there's a lot of other different variables in there, but it's a lot of location.
Okay, back to trends.
Sure.
This is great. Trying to get more like ease of entry into whiskey for women or for people who may.
We're just scared of it.
Maybe
because it's scary. Whiskey's brown liquor's scary. It is.
Yeah. A lot of horror stories.
Oh yeah. I have a lot of bad memories, but they're coming around.
But so what are you looking forward to? I mean, so you have this going on, like you mentioned, new rubs and that sort of thing. Like, what are you looking forward to in your own business, or like sort of industry wide for the next year?
Well, in my own business, just evolution. Like, we've been here for this location 13 years now, and then going on 14, and then the one in Lewis has been there for 8, I believe.
Right.
And it's just we're a staple. We're doing the same stuff we've been doing for all those years, and we're kind of getting to the point where we're ready to kind of take another jump and like really take another stab at it. So I'm kind of looking forward to some of the evolution of our brand and our product that we're going to be serving. But as far as the industry itself is really just like, what's next? Like,
right.
Because every year something blows my mind that like somebody's doing like.
Oh really? Like within the industry.
Right. Like. Yeah. Like all these different like gastro pubs and that stuff popping up. Like, that blew my mind, and that's starting to like get played out. Like, what's next? Like, what is it going to be? Like, there's so many different, like, who knows?
So, how do you get the word out to the customer and to, you know, while still appeasing the people who have been coming here for the duration, you know?
I'd say that's the hardest part. I mean, how do you not screw over the people that have been coming here for the last 13 years?
Right.
But at the same time, like, open up the door for people who are looking for something a little bit more. You know, I think the best way to maybe paint that picture would be just ease them into it.
Yeah.
You know, don't dive head first. Maybe, you know, kind of still, you know, have remnants of the things that you're currently doing. Like, for example, you know, we're looking to kind of upgrade some of, like, you know, what we've been doing as far as like our sandwiches. We're a barbecue place, so we have your pulled pork, your brisket, your pulled chicken, all that stuff, which is all great. But how can we make and offer those better? And there's, I would tell you right now that there are thousands of people that come in here every single summer that would continue to come in here every single summer and have those. So how do we make those better? You know, we want to take those and completely, you can offer them, but completely like throw them away and blow it up and make, like, you know, like a grilled Hawaiian pork, like luau sandwich or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just do something different.
If they can make a Hawaiian pizza.
Right.
You can do Hawaiian barbecue.
The guy that pitched, like, hey man, let's throw pineapple and, like, you know, Canadian bacon on this pizza.
Spam.
Yeah, exactly. People are like, get the hell out of here, man. Like, what are you talking about? Like, we can do it, and that's our thing. As we, I don't know how really, you know, to.
Well, so with everything that's going on in the world and social media, digital marketing, and that sort of thing, in our world, everything is changing very rapidly. You know, so. And being able to reach people is now easier, but then it's also, in some respects, it's also a burden because you are fighting against, you know, a feed and a mountain of information that's out there.
Every single day there's something new.
Right. But what's good is that sort of willingness and nimbleness to be able to try things and put out, you know, that barbecue, Hawaiian, you know, whatever, and you know, or this. To put something out like this that is awesome, but maybe it's received, maybe it's not received, but, you know, you're still trying things on a regular basis, and it's still, you know, keeping things fresh, and it makes it more enjoyable for the staff and the regulars and that sort of thing.
You get stuck in your day-to-day routine. You gotta constantly, you know, you gotta, again, working to improve, working to constantly serve something new. Like, what's the next thing going to be? The only way you're going to figure it out is to, you know, close your eyes and throw at the dartboard. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to make a bunch of mistakes, or there's going to be a bunch of things that don't work. But eventually, you're gonna hit the honey hole, and you're gonna find that one thing, the niche, the thing that people have been waiting for, and they didn't even know it.
That's great.
That's the beauty of it.
I'll say this: here's to hitting the honey hole.
I love it.
Cheers.
Cheers, buddy.
Thank you, brother.